It's time for the Douglas Coleman Show. Mr. Smooth and Savvy is joined by guests from all walks of life, from the entertainment industry to authors to political and social commentators, the famous and not so famous, the controversial and the light and fluffy. We have it all. Now, here's Douglas Coleman.
Okay, please welcome back to the Douglas Coleman Show, Charles Breakfield. Hi, Charles. How are you? Welcome back.
I'm good, sir. Thanks for having me back, Doug. Apologies that my co-author was not able to make it. But even though you didn't get the attractive one, you do have a good storyteller on your hands.
Well, we looked it up. You were on the show just about 2 years ago. It was October of 2022. And I think at that point you were promoting the Enigma series, which I'm looking at the picture here. A lot of books in that series, yeah?
Yeah. So what we did was we capped the series at 12 on that particular group, and launched what we call the Enigma Heirs, which is the first book in that series was Tracer, and the second book we just got finished, got it off the runway and launched, was Enigma Forced, and we got one more, and that it's going to be a trilogy. And basically what it amounted to was that the third generation of the Enigma series, the R group, they reached that point where it's like they need to turn over the reins to the next generation, and so there's that angst of the senior generation handing off to the junior designations, and hoping that they've taught them everything, that they'll be successful, realizing you can't teach somebody everything, but you can teach them to think, and that's what we like to explore in the second trilogy.
Okay, so this one is finished, this series?
Yeah, the Enigma series is capped at 12.
Okay.
12 books. And then the new series would be Enigma Heirs, which is the fourth generation of the R group, taking over the reins and basically fighting the cyber thugs and the scum from the darknet. And
then you've got something here called Out of Poland, which says that it's just been named screenplay finalist. Is this a screenplay? It says a novella on the cover.
Well, and what we did, we started off with the novella, and then we hit on the idea of turning it into a screenplay. We had a screenplay writer associate of ours that said, "Let me kind of give you." He'd done it for years, and so I'll give you some tips and tricks and some ideas to be able to work with. And we batted it back and forth, and turned into a fairly good screenplay. We shopped it to the Austin Film Festival last year, and we made the top 20% out of entrance fees of 11,000 people. We were really jazzed by that, and we got a chance to be able to go pitch to some producers and agents and actors that were on the judging panel. I didn't get it past that, but they did give us a nice pat on the head, said, pretty good effort, but it's always the same thing. Here's some things you need to go fix. Go in and polish this up here, and here, which we did, and we took it and then sent it to the Page Turner folks in the UK, and they liked it enough to be able to give it that finalist designation. So that and the pitch, they liked the pitch, which was the pitch that I gave to the panel last year. We'd actually polished it up too, and so the pitch has been through the same kind of polishing efforts that the screenplay itself has been through.
Well, so what does finalist mean? What's happens now?
Well, what happens is it's and I got the advance word that that was as far as we got. It was supposed to be going into a short list, and the short list is extremely competitive. Well, that's probably a polite way to put it. We did not make it that far. So the good news is that we usually get a couple of tidbits thrown back to us saying, not bad, kid, but you need to do a couple of things here, and here. Maybe 2 sentences is all you get back, but it gives you that extra, we're on the right track. But it's not ready for prime time just quite yet. Good story, It's a good story, but it's the subtleties, and I'll go ahead and be honest, it's a quantum leap between writing a novel or novella and screenplay writing. And screenplay writing is, they tell you, I've been cautioned on several occasions, hey, kids, stick with the writing the stories, because I can always get a screenplay writer to do it, rather than you having to learn it from the ground up. Which always kind of annoys me, because that's not who I am. I like to go, I want to see how the sausage is made, so we put ourselves on that routine, on that treadmill, and we're going to continue to polish it and shop it until we get to the place where somebody says, dude, where have you been?
Well, I've had people on who have written screenplays. I've had people on who have written novels. I've had people on who have written both. What type of criticism did you get? I'm curious, because this was your first attempt, right, at a screenplay?
Yeah.
So what sort of critiques did you get?
Well, the first critique I got back from film festival was the ending wasn't satisfying. You did not give us closure, and that was the one thing. The secondary characters, there wasn't enough surrounding them to be able to give us a nice, tasty morsel of the supporting characters. So, can you add a little more oomph to those characters and give them character development? Not too much to distort the book, because it's a screenplay, because it's basically a fight and flight to get out with the goods and get away from the Germans with their prized Enigma machine.
So did you get any criticism about the actual style of writing, or was it just strictly for the story? No,
it was, the other piece, the other one I got back was like, the dialogue, they didn't like the dialogue. And the panels they're polite, but they're, if it doesn't suit them, it's very subjective, as you'd understand. When you're interviewing with both people on both sides of the fence, it's not always easy to be able to capture everybody's imagination. I guess the irony of it at the Austin Film Festival, one of the judges, a producer's like, wow, I love what you did. In 90 seconds, the pitch hit him perfectly. The other judge is like, huh? I don't get it. It just wasn't for her, and because that's historical fiction. All right, now you got gobs of accurate details, but I got fictional people running around, during the onslaught of the Wehrmacht, running through Poland in just under 30 days. So it's hard to be able to quantify exactly what they don't like, but it's almost always a very personal taste that they have and something they're looking for. But it did please me to have the one judge say, oh, wow, I know exactly what this is. Now, this is good, tell me more. I even got an applause from the other 15 contestants who liked the pitch as well. So it tells me we're on the right track, just not yet.
Well, one of the criticisms that I hear all the time from people who have been on the show, who have tried to make the switch from novel writing to screenplay, is it's too wordy, because writing a screenplay essentially is a blueprint. You want to just use the minimum amount of words to convey the idea, because it's going to get developed by the director and by all these other people, where a novel essentially is the finished product, right? There's nowhere else to go with the novel. Mm-hmm. So that's the one that I hear most often.
Yeah, I didn't have that particular issue. Basically, we had self-taught in this particular area, so I'm not bragging when I say I had a pretty good tutor that said no, point of view, show, don't tell, don't stand there and get rid of all. Because he went through it, he was brutal. I made that same mistake. I'll be honest here. We put in all the stuff. Okay, all right. We're running down the street. No. Let the director do that. And make sure you have the room for the actors to be able to add their value add, because they're the ones that have to breathe life into that character. So that was kind of where we were going with that when the one critic came back and said, you didn't get enough development on the secondary characters. And I'm like, sound like we over-rotated too far on point of view. Here, set all this up and then allow the director to be able to take the story the way they want. So, yeah, that's I learned that one. We learned it early on. Pull out those, extraneous details that you have to have in a novel because they're directional statements when you're using it. And you use a standard program like Final Draft to be able to do that. And it'll grade it as you're going down through. Like, no. Try it. Like, here's something you can do. You can just cut and paste. You drop in the templates and the different points that you need to. But it's directional statements for the camera, not for the actors.
Well, exactly. Yeah. So your other half, Rox Berkey, she wrote on this as well, right? You write everything together, or do you ever write separately?
Yeah. No, we write everything together. What will happen is that we'll take an idea, and then we'll here's a particular threat, and in this case, the Out of Poland is actually the precursor story that we wrote after the fact for the Enigma series. It's like, because by book 10, somebody said, where in the heck did these people come from? How come they're so powerful and so knowledgeable and so dedicated? And so we went back through the genealogy and said, okay, where did they come from? Well, they basically we parsed it. There were three Poles that watched the Germans run through Poland, but the way to hit back was to steal the Enigma machine and give it to get it to the Allies. Well, in doing so, they made a copy, and so they built their own information dynasty from that, and that's where the Enigma series actually comes from that particular point of view of the story. And then, of course, they did steal. The Allies were always after the Enigma machine as soon as the war started. Actually, before that, but I won't go into all the mind-numbing detail that goes into that discussion. But we take that story and we batted it back and forth. Okay, what should happen here? And we build an outline, and from the outline we start generating chapters. And then we use our patent pending technology of literary ping pong to be able to adapt the chapters and storyline back and forth for character polishing and story evolution. And the other natural consequence for doing it that way is that when we get finished, it reads like it's written by just one person.
Interesting. Okay. So Out of Poland, it has been released as a novella at this point?
That's correct, yes. Novella. And actually we've got an Audible out on it too with our favorite voice actor, Derek Scholes. So, and it's a very suspenseful narrative that he does, because he does all the voices and the accents, and he's quite good. He's a voice actor. He's not just a narrator.
All right. Well, Charles, I think on that we're going to wind this down. Thanks so much for coming back on the show. Again, the book is called Out of Poland, and the authors are Breakfield and Berkey. Last question, do you have a website that you want to give out?
Certainly. If you'll go to enigmabookseries.com or enigmaseries.com, either one, we've got both domains. That'll get you to our website, where we've got links to the videos that we've built and crafted, audio snippets from the audio books that are out there, and of course sample chapters to kind of give you a taste for what's in store for the readers in the different areas.
Well, thanks again for coming back on the show, and best of luck with the book and your other series, the Enigma series. Hope everything goes well.
Doug, I appreciate the time to be able to chat with you. Many thanks.